To really get how Sephora became this global giant, we need to go back in time. Back to when buying perfume or makeup was, well, honestly, it was kind of a frustrating experience. Picture this. It's the 1960s. You walk into a department store and that bottle you want to try is locked away behind a glass counter. You can't touch it, you can't smell it, and the only person who can get it for you is a salesperson working on commission. The whole system was really built for the brands, not for you, the customer. So what was it really like? In one word, restrictive. Every single product was under lock and key. You couldn't just browse, you couldn't compare things on your own, and you definitely couldn't try anything without someone trying to sell you something. The whole experience was completely controlled by the clerk's agenda, not your own curiosity.
And then, in 1969, in this small French perfume shop called Shop 8, a man named Dominique Mandonnaud had a simple but totally radical idea. He thought, what if we just put everything out on open shelves? You can see the shift in philosophy right there. Instead of the old, controlled way, Mandonnaud's idea was all about customer freedom. Open shelves, try before you buy. It was a move that was about to change everything.
And this one core concept, putting the customer in control, it wasn't just some nice little feature. It became the actual engine for Sephora's entire business model and, eventually, its global domination. Mandonnaud even gave his new model a name, assisted self-service, and its impact was huge. He reorganized the entire store, not by brand, which was how everyone did it, but by product category. All the lipsticks together, all the foundations together, and the salespeople, they were retrained and renamed beauty advisors. Their job was to help and educate, not just to push a sale. This was a fundamental shift that aligned the store's goals with what the customer actually wanted. Okay, so the model was working great in his small shops, but to really make it big, Mandonnaud needed a much bigger stage, and that led to a massive high-stakes gamble that would either launch an empire or sink his entire company. So in 1993, he decides to buy a struggling chain of 38 stores called Sephora. Now this is the crucial part. He wasn't buying their business, because their business was failing. He was buying their real estate. He was buying the infrastructure, the physical stores that he needed to roll out his proven successful model on a national scale. And the price tag for this struggling chain was an absolutely staggering $61 million. Now, to really understand the size of this risk, get this. The year before he bought it, the entire Sephora chain made a total profit of only about $45,000. Let that sink in. He paid $61 million for a business that was barely making any money. It was an incredible, audacious bet on his own system. So, he's got the winning model, he's got the stores. The last piece of the puzzle was the rocket fuel needed for global expansion. And that massive injection of capital, it would come from the biggest name in luxury in the world. And from here, the growth is just explosive. In 1997, the luxury powerhouse LVMH acquires Sephora, pumping in huge amounts of cash. A year later, they're in the US. By 1999, they launched Sephora.com. Think about that, they were years ahead of their competitors in e-commerce. Then they perfected this brilliant shop-in-shop model, first with JCPenney and now with Kohl's, which let them expand like crazy without the huge cost of building new stores from scratch. And look, the LVMH deal was so much more than just money. It gave Sephora access to an exclusive club of the world's most prestigious luxury brands and a level of credibility that instantly shot them to the top of the market. So, with all that history, how exactly did Sephora build this competitive moat around its business that's made it so dominant for so long? Let's break it down. Well, when you put Sephora next to its main rival in the US, Ulta, the differences and their DNA become really clear. Sephora is all about a curated, prestige, luxury experience. Ulta is more of a broad, one-stop shop, mixing drugstore brands with prestige ones. They're really playing two completely different games. And if you're wondering which approach is winning with the most important consumers right now, well, the data speaks for itself. According to Piper Sandler, Gen Z overwhelmingly prefers Sephora. It's a huge validation of their strategy to focus on curation, exclusive brands, and building a community. A massive part of Sephora's playbook is how it basically institutionalized innovation. It started with science, using tech like Color IQ to solve a huge customer problem, finding the right foundation shade. Then it jumped into cutting-edge AR with its virtual artist tool. And today, the whole thing is powered by this massive data engine from its 30 million-plus member loyalty program, which fuels all sorts of hyper-personalization. So if we boil it all down, Sephora's lasting advantage really rests on these 5 pillars. You've got the LVMH connection, that incredibly valuable first-party data from its members, the super smart Kohl's expansion model, a constant pipeline of tech innovation, and this unique power it has to turn new brands like Fenty Beauty into absolute superstars. It's an incredibly powerful combination that's really hard for anyone else to replicate.
But, as we all know, the retail world never, ever stands still. So let's take a look at the new frontiers Sephora is dealing with and the emerging threats to its empire.
Today's competition looks totally different. It's not just another beauty store. It's Amazon, which competes on pure one-click convenience. It's TikTok Shop, which is completely dominating social discovery and viral trends. And it's the big mass retailers like Target and Walmart, who are getting way better at masstige, offering prestige-like products for the masses.
So how is Sephora fighting back? Well, it's doubling down on its core strengths, using AI for even more personalization and continuing that smart asset-light expansion. But it's also pushing into new territory, focusing on things like sustainability, going deeper with its Gen Z community, and expanding into the huge high-growth wellness and ingestible beauty space.
And this brings us right to the final big question. Sephora's empire was built on a superior in-person experience, but in a world that's now dominated by the one-click convenience of Amazon and the viral, unpredictable discovery of TikTok. Is that still enough? Can curation and experience continue to win? That is the multi-billion-dollar question for the entire future of beauty retail.